Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today, we've shown a lot of clutches drop. We're going to show you what we're expecting to drop. I'm going to show you how I can look at these females and what I'm seeing on these females to make me think that they're going to be laying soon. We're not going to show you every single female I think is going to go. We're going to show you the ones I think I'll probably have eggs from within the next, days to 30 some days. And then we'll go over to Patreon, kind of talk about what we're going to do with those clutches, etc., etc., etc. Let's start right here. Woo. This one is the one I think is probably going to be next to go. So what I'm looking at in this snake, and you'll see some of these cages kind of dirty. I don't mess with them when they're pregnant. They're going to get a full sweep when they lay eggs. I don't like to disturb them. I want them to be in their hole. So if there's a little bit of poop wherever, we just kind of let it be, as long as it's not gross. You can see how wide it is, how the scales are spread, how thick it is, just the kind of lumpy overall look, how that belly looks wide, the tail's tucked in, and she is in a circle. She has been the one to push all the litter up on the side like this. She's making a nest, and she's going to give us eggs soon. Very soon. Very, very soon. So we'll go ahead and close her back up. For those that are wondering, she's been bred to a calico. Sorry. She is a calabi. She's been bred to a super pastel exanthic. So we should get pastel, super pastel, killer bees, and calico pastel, and calico super pastel, and also calico killer bees, all het exanthic. What we will not get is any straight spider or straight calico. Everything will at least have pastel in it. So that's really cool. Next is going to be one of our dinkers. This is a pastel-like, is what we've called it. And again, you can kind of see the same thing. She's pushed the litter out. She is not as massive as the other one I just showed you, but you can see definitely along the bottom here where I'm talking about how it's blown out. She's going to lay eggs for us soon, I do believe. She was bred back to her father, which is a Blitz. The reason for that is she is a pastel-looking snake, or orange dream-looking snake that came from a Blitz paired to a Champagne. First time mum, so there's no retained sperm or none of that going on. We've bred that mum multiple times. We've bred that dad multiple times. We only ever had 2 of these, and they're sisters. So we're not really sure what's going on there. So we bred that back to kind of see what we get, kind of play with it a little bit. So those are 2 that I think are going to be going very, very soon. This is another one. This cage is kind of wrecked. It did, when it shed, have some skin stuck on it. Got off later. But, and that's kind of stuff we can go ahead and pull out of there. But it is likely going to have eggs for us. I'm really excited about this. It is paired to a Suma. So yay for me, right? So we're gonna have some mahogany bananas is what we're looking for out of there. That is a female banana, so it's gonna do us a lot of favors. Over here is another one. Again, you can see some of the exact same thing we've been talking about. We're in a coil. It's a rattlesnake rattling. Our tail is tucked in. You can see how big she is. I can actually feel lumps when I go like that on her. Blip, blip. Then it gets too thick. She's pied to bred to pie, so we're gonna have pieds there. That's another one that's definitely going to go for us. Let me show you another one that's really close as well. Over down here at the queen bee. And as you can see here, now this has got something else I want to show you that is a sign. When you have a snake that maybe isn't as thick as that calabi that's going to go, people will talk about when you're looking at a ball python, how if you can see the spine, that's a sign that it isn't healthy. That's a sign that it's malnourished. That's a sign that it's underfed, etc., 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 etc. All true on a normal snake. You look at this snake, you can see its spine clearly, but you can also see this girl is in no way underfed. She's in no way malnourished. What's happening is she is so full of eggs that about here, you start to see that spine protrude and go all the way down her back, down to the cloaca. That is because the eggs are pushing that up where they're sitting in her body. She is going to have babies for us, no doubt in my mind. And then she's probably going to have a fairly big clutch for her size. So when I see that, I get excited. It is a little bit worrisome because I do know that this is her first ever clutch with us, or ever, because I produce this snake. And that does mean that I am going to have to take great care in making sure this female gets back on food so I could get her ready for next season, or she may need a season off. The biggest concern is getting her back on food, though, after that first time she lays eggs. So, which we don't usually struggle with, but there are some that are difficult. So that's another one that is fixing to lay. Close her back up, and I'll show you this girl over, where are you at? Oh, Kurt's favorite, looking up high. Whoa, I'll bring her down to you a little bit. So she is gonna lay. Now, in this situation, I can just grab that turd out. Whoop. But and you see her spine isn't as big or protruded, but she is nested up, and she is a big snake anyway. So when she starts doing this, I know we're going to be successful with her. So no worries at all. Again, that would be a pastel het exanthic bred to I believe, a super pastel axanthic and a bumblebee axanthic. So we'll see what comes out of there. So and I didn't mention what the queen bee has been bred to, also a pastel axanthic. So we're looking for that lesser axanthic stuff. In this case, be lesser head axanthic, some holdbacks, etc., etc., etc. You know how that works. Here's another one that I know for sure is going to go. Now, this is a little bit early in the process. So she is in what's a prelay shed. So after she sheds, and this is a shed that came on the heels of a different shed. So she is ovulated already. Get those out of there while I'm at it. And she is going to shed and then grow up and pop out eggs. So this snake probably will not lay until sometime in August. But we're going to have a really good August and a really good July, I think, before it's all said and done. This is another one that's kind of doing the same thing. Now, she's already had her prelay, but this is not long after what I think was a prelay shed because it's right here. So she had ovulated, she had stopped eating, she went into prelay shed. So she's probably, let's say 28 days, hopefully, from laying. So in that 28 days, I'll be able to pick this one up. She's not too far along. She is going to hopefully put on, you'll see a lot of mass, because down through here, it doesn't look too crazy, but right there, you can see it. Do you see that thick spot right there? So that's where everything is setting now. This will grow, 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 until she looks super uncomfortable. There you go, baby girl. So she is going to give us eggs, and she was bred to an onyx. So she is going to produce pin het red axanthic and pin black pastel. The other one I showed you was bred to a calico. Again, we're looking for those calibes and things like that. So that's where that came from. So those are the ones. Oh, one more I want to show you. I kind of forget. There's so many we got that I know. And there's a lot of other ones I think are going to go. These are just the ones that are in the process I can show now. This one has a little bit of retained shed, but I haven't messed with her too much, as you can see, because again, I don't want to stress her. She's already had her prelay shed, those little pieces. That's what that's from. It just got a little dry in here. It's going to happen at times, you know, but when she has those eggs, we'll get that off of her then, if not before, because it's nothing that's in a bad spot. And that's what you got to look for. Her eye caps were good, so I can let her be. Even with that little bit of stuck shed, I don't want to disturb her too much or stress her by sitting there and mess with it. Now this is our killer bee. Well, Olympus is a killer bee. Remains to be seen. 100% het for clown. We've never proven it out, so we bought it out, and it was bred to our clown, actually our clown het caramel male, the one that was accidentally het caramel we didn't know about. So we're looking for spider clowns, bumblebee clowns, clowns, all of that out of there. We actually won't get any straight clowns. If that proves to be killer bee, then we are going to get, at worst, pastel het clown and visual pastel clowns and bumblebee clowns. So you actually can't even make a spider clown if the snake was labeled right in genetics. The reason is because, of course, if it's killer bee, then it would have pastel. We label as bumblebee question mark because it wasn't 100% sold, so it looks different than my killer bee. It could be, it's not a straight bumblebee. It could have something else floating around in there, though, which we'll figure out when the time comes. All right, guys. I'm sure there's other ones I'm not thinking of that I know are also getting close. Oh, this girl over here, I guess I can show her to you. Right there, she's also getting close. That is a firefly. Now, she's in a much smaller tub. You're probably going, what the hell? Well, that's because we got her, she'd been kept in an FB40, and we got her, she was pretty thin, so we just kept her in what she was used to, got her back up to size, got her breeding. After this set of eggs, I will likely move her to an FB70 if I have a spot for her, because she obviously could use one, right? And she was bred to a GHI, so we're looking for some fire GHI, some pastel GHI, some firefly GHI. Yeah, you get it. So Kurt, anything you want? Oh my God, I wish I could have caught that. I just saw one of those little rattlesnakes, John. It's the cutest thing ever. Little bitty fangs. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hop off of here, slide over to Patreon, kind of talk about what's gonna happen with some of these clutches, because I'm really excited about some of these and look at some of the future plans, especially with the handful of them. Focus on specific things that we're going to have a long-term future with. Kurt, anything you want to add before we get off of here?
What month is it?
Currently, it is July 9th. We are kind of right on pace where we were last year. I can't remember. I think we might have had one clutch in July so far. We had like 7 in whatever the last month was, June. And I expect to be close to that by the time July is over. And then I expect to be another 7 or 8 deep when it comes to August. Last time I counted, just a preliminary count, I was pretty confident in about, another, I want to say 17 to 19 clutches. That's what I was confident in. That hasn't laid yet. That doesn't include what's already been laid. We'll be around the 25 to 30 mark this year, most likely. We could do more above and beyond that. That was just what I could see and visually go through and say, yep, yep, yep. So That's kind of where we're at. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.